Hello everyone, this is Urxalis speaking. I am playing a Mesmer for 1.5 years, but I still can't use a portal even if my life depended on it. If you are looking for quality fights and epic battles, this is not a video for you. This one is about a period of re-adaptation and of me learning how to use portal. For example, a good first step of using a portal is placing the portal entry and exit in range of each other. Otherwise, you will simply be as confused as I am that it didn't work. Now, I was talking about a re-adaptation period. What is this in general? For example, up to this point I was playing with Signet of Domination all the time and with Mender's Purity. Right now I've got Glamour Mastery and the Portal. Okay, I know that, but it doesn't matter because inside my head, like my hand movements still remember that I have Signet of Domination and that my heal drops conditions, and mostly chill, immobilize and cripple, because this is what I dropped with Mender's Purity. This means that even if I know at some level that my build is different than I am used to, I have habits from my old things and I have different expectancies of what will happen when I press a particular button. So until I manage to learn new habits, I will play really badly. This clip is a good example of that, to be honest. Not only I have missed Temple Curtain because of a blind, which normally I would look at, but I don't really know what to do. This is something which always happens to, I think, every player, and definitely to me, when I change a build in a major way. And for me, changing Signet of Domination into Portal and Mender's Purity into Glamour Mastery was a greater change than changing, for example, Staff to Greatsword or Greatsword to Staff. So, to summarize, before I learn it, I am playing my old build, having the tools of my new build. On top of that, I have a tool, a portal, which I have never used in roaming before. This means I make a lot of mistakes with it. Here, for example, I get under a pressure of enemy forces and I am using portal to port myself away. But I didn't know that between pressing a key and portal opening, there is a second or half a second difference. Look at the minimap, please. Drew has ported back to my position, he put a pet on the guard which was targeted, and rezzed me to, well, prevent the decay of my hit points. So the lesson from this one for me was, okay, now when you more or less know that the distance kind of is important, now remember that there is that delay between a portal opening and portal happening. Then the cavalry came and we weren't able to fight this camp anymore. So time for a next clip. This time we are being ambushed by a superior force of 3 or 4 enemies. As they seem to have classes which are high on crowd control, and I am not as totally useless in my portals anymore, I have opened a portal and I have attacked the enemies. Now I am deliberately overstretching here, overextending here, attacking an enemy Mesmer. When I get pinned down, I am using a distortion shutter and opening a portal exit in the same time, so distortion protects me from enemy attacks while I can port away, something I didn't do in the last clip. Afterwards I simply had to escape, but I'm quite good at escaping. Okay, let's cut some of the chasing, about more or less here. Now, from all enemies, only the thief followed, and I was able to skirmish with him a bit, and when my ally came, we were able to first down and then kill the enemy. Why do I even do this experiment with switching Signet of Domination into Portal? First of all, if any of you were watching my previous videos, you have seen how I am using Signet of Domination. I was writing in the comments things about the build and the importance of the Signet of Domination to the particular feeling of this build. By changing as little as one utility skill, well, Mender's Purity doesn't really count, does it? I am changing a build focus a lot, and I am totally getting lost. And to encourage you to experiment and not to feel inferior to other players, I want to show you that everyone has re-adaptation periods. I mean really, before I learn new habits in the first periods of playing this, I am playing so badly I cringe when I watch it. And this still isn't my worst performance. One more thing how not to use portals. When you down an enemy and try to do a portal stomp, do not do it as I was trying to. This is something I will have to train still, but now I have a general idea about the timing. At the time of making this video, though, I have left a friend over there to fight for his own, because I was so stuppefied at what happened right now. So yeah, learning is painful. You can learn only by making mistakes, and this is embarrassing. This clip is an example in which we could have won, but my mistake doomed the team. The lesson this time is, even the best portal is useless unless you tell your party mates you have a portal. And one more lesson, quickly afterwards. The portal becomes a kill zone for enemy forces. If you are a squishy mesmer with no hit points, do not enter. As I got downed, my party mates focused on rezzing me, even if there were downed enemies over there, because if I died, enemies would rally off me, they had no choice. If I was faster, ported in, used Chaos Storm, ported back, or even wait over there, do not port at all, we might have won this. Don't get me wrong, those fails when I am using a new tool are normal. Good to have friends who accept it and take it into account. With time, I am getting better and better in using a portal. In this clip I am using it to assault enemy positions to be able to return. Of course, I tend to fail at target selection, so I have attacked a warrior and a necromancer. I couldn't win this, so I have used a portal to escape, and I almost made it. Well, actually I did make it, but I got downed in the process. I am trying to heal here, while Israel is trying to buy me some time. Now, while I was trying to heal myself desperately, afterwards trying to rally on Skelk, Israel took the attention long enough for me to be able to return to the fight. This is, well, almost what I wanted to achieve using a portal, and this is where the portal is very useful in roaming. You are able to create a safe zone, a place you will be able to return to. This works when you want to assault enemy position, or when you want to flank enemies from behind when they are running after you, or when you want to split enemies, or when enemies can expect a portal bomb. Using that type of portal we have managed to already avoid an enemy zerg more than once. We will be experimenting using this particular type of portal combined with a open field ballista combined with mass invisibility or shadow refuge. I mean, with some more experience, this could be a winning combination, allowing 3 or 4 people to be able to stand a chance against 8 or 9. Or, to use an evacuation portal, run towards a losing ally, mass invisibility, open portal, and we both are able to escape from a remote position. I mean, Signet of Domination is a tactical single target skill, but portal is a logistics skill. Because of that, strategic positioning might be very interesting and it might give us much more tools. This clip is an example of a standard fight near the Vale we are having with the Draugr. I have placed a portal as an insurance which allows me to play more aggressively, like move forward, pull enemies to my position, do things I would normally be hesitant to be doing due to the only single blink. We are fighting Abaddon forces, but there's that one Gandharan thief that seems to actually hate me. In the beginning, I haven't noticed his presence simply because of a null field, which neutralized his bleeds put on me. But eventually I got both blinded and immobilized more or less here, so my only course of action was to use a portal to escape. Portal allowed me to reposition myself, wait till immobilizes passes, use mass invisibility, so my enemy doesn't know if I am on the other side of the portal, and to reunite with a Draugr and Sprout. When I joined them, they were alert and they took care of me, so I was safe. This fight started in a very fun way because I became a Moa. Now, Moa by itself is a very powerful crowd control tool, but you need to be able to utilize it. For example, Signet of Domination, some kind of immobilize. Otherwise, it can simply be neutralized by tactical dodging and hiding using line of sight. This was unfortunate really, because an enemy had really nice burst, which you can witness right now. Mass invisibility allowed me to drop enemy target and pressure, and while enemy guardian was trying to find me while invisible, Israel joined me to destroy the Mesmer. So, after all said and done, where is the place for a portal in this video? Let's talk heavy classes, which are the current meta, so guardians and warriors. Once, mesmers were quite useful because of feedback, but then enemies stopped using ranged weapons and they became pure melee, using the gap closers to compensate the range. This means that they actually have to get close to their target to be able to deal any damage, no matter the hit points of the target. And this is where the portal can come into play. Notice that I am on low hit points all the time, about 1500 most. After casting, Portal is active for 10 seconds. It means I've got 10 seconds during which I can move 6000 units more than once. It is enough to be able to break combat and regenerate naturally, or, put in other words, it is half of Ether Fist recharge. I tried to take an enemy camp, but I was driven off by 2 players defending it, so I left the portal and escaped underwater while they were raising their supervisor. I hoped only 1 enemy would be left in the camp so I would be able to make an assassination, but sadly 2 of them were over there, so a plan has changed. I have moved away from the camp, simply to lure them, to have another jab at them. Well, a set of short skirmishes quickly showed me that I might not be able to win this one, and that in general this might not have been that good of an idea than I thought in the beginning. Fortunately, enemies aren't dealing a lot of damage, and the Mesmer by definition will not be a fast class. And my Mesmer, in Elegance build, is created to fully utilize a mobility defense. I have moved the battle underwater because most enemies can't fight underwater, and I have trained in this area. Of course, as the game gets older, players get better too, so this time I have seen a situation with slightly too many underwater phantasms, slightly too long cooldowns on me, and slightly too little hit points to really be able to fight them efficiently. So I was stalling for time and used the portal to be able to escape underwater. And this really shows why the portal is such a powerful defense tool on my Mesmer. Usually a guaranteed skill which allows me to break the combat or drop a target is Mass Invisibility on 90 seconds cooldown. With Portal I get another tool at 72 seconds of cooldown. On top of that, Runes of the Traveler, and on top of that 1200 range Blink. And underwater, standard skill 4 and skill 2 on a spur. If I am not crowd controlled to hell in the initial meeting, I will be able to escape somewhat and use Portal to evacuate myself. The mobility defense I like so much suits the Portal perfectly on my Mesmer. Yes, I still do a lot of mistakes on my Portal, but at least it is not a liability anymore.